Hello, my name is Don and welcome to episode 26 of Motorsport Manager. I wasn't going to record this today, but given the severeness, we must finish 6th in this championship, this race. I thought record it now, puts off a binge record for a little while, and you guys can respond in the comments for what you want me to do going forward should it go pear-shaped. Today we're taking on the Guildford Grand Prix. We must finish 6th in terms of constructors. Currently 8th in the Constructors' Championship, which isn't great. This was our promotion season. We're 42 points off. We're 29 points off 3rd, which is where the board want us to finish. We need something out of the bag. I did go and have a look at drivers between episodes, but there was nobody there that was really standing out that was an option to replace Frankie Kinney. There was maybe a couple of people, but they were either going to cost too much money and not bring enough back in, or they just weren't good enough. So it wasn't an improvement, so we're stuck with Frankie and Ellie Marsh. It's the last season for both drivers. We've got the HQ that will be here this episode before the Guildford Grand Prix, but that's really it. So we're going to go on to full on improving now, because we need every bit of performance we can. Reliability is okay. We've not had to repair the car for a little while, so I'm not too concerned about that. So we're going with that. Hopefully we can get something out of this race, because we need it. Reverse driver grid is the next vote. That is also this episode. I'm going to abstain again. I'm going to go, if we've got our job, we're going to put everything into spec suspension for next season, because I was planning on having qualifying next season, but because this vote came up, I've decided against it. It would feel it would be a waste of a vote. And I don't want to confuse the game basically with changes, so we've got 4 voting power abstaining, so we'll have 5 for this spec suspension. It's actually one of our best parts. So we've got approved reverse grid. That's a bit meh for us next season, because I expect if this isn't going to be our championship year, next season will be. Got all these scout reports to come through. I'm going to probably cancel a lot of them once this is done, and we'll start focusing on the guys that are unemployed that we have not scouted yet. Because really that's what we need to do. Got our gearbox for next season built. That's a pretty big improvement. I don't think we can get any better on anything else, because I think we've already got that and that for our suspension, and that and that for brakes. So let's go and work out. I'm going to get my calculator out. Just use my phone. It's on mute, don't worry guys. We've got 4 races left. Losing 1 million a race, so that's 4.4 million. So we've got about 4 million to build a building if we want one. Anything for about that price? Nope, not an upgrade. Anything for about that price on this. Brakes R&D is one of the things we'd want. Simulator we don't want. Test track we don't want. Tour centre, that come in handy. Let's get the tour centre, because that's an extra 50k a week incoming. It's a very worthwhile build. It's not something that was on the to-do list, but let's get it done. Scout report finished. Scout report. So it's team championship. Yes, I understand. I will be fired. We will turn it around, I promise you. Telemetry centre is good. So Chris Cannon was the last one we checked. Said he was okay, but not good enough. Paget's at a very good team, so not going to get him. Espinosa is the exact same. And Carla, hello. Very good marketability, decent driver, successful designer. Marketability plus 40. That's for 18 weeks, so it's actually only 60. Let's compare. Where is compare? Compare to Frankie Kinney. So over Frankie, better at braking. Oh yeah, absolutely smokes Frankie out of the water in every stat. And even the ones that she doesn't, she's close. Can we afford her? That is the question. 1.2 million to break the contract. Not interested. Okay, we'll add you to favourites though. It's a shame. She would have been an extremely good race. Home race hero Frankie Kinney, Australia though. And it wouldn't have made too much difference to the marketability. Oh well, it happens. Fit parts, let's just click that just now, just to get rid of the notification, because I get annoyed with little notifications being there. So HQ, our new scout facility is upgraded. Let's have a look, see what it looks like now. Costing us a fair bit per race, but as you can see, looks nice. Little one wing more to add. Got 14 new scout reports, so let's do the ones that aren't coming quickly. Any more empty slots? No. So we'll scout you, 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 and that's it by the looks of it. And then we'll start scouting these drivers that we've just ticked off the list. Let's have a look at ability, because should all put all the scouting ones at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Scout. Let's get them all scouted, but try and prioritise the unemployed ones. But we're not going to get anywhere with this. Save your jobs 6 or above. So we're taking 6 or above. Happy with the car. So you've got 403 there. Not using this one. 342. We actually need. This is all potential. It's got like 200 potential, so we need to start working on that fairly soon. Let's have a look at improved parts first, actually. So anything that's not got a whole way to go. Gearbox is also important. No, that suspension. We'll take the suspension off and get this gearbox on, because it is extremely important that we get that for next season, because it's such a big boost overall. Anyway guys, I'll go and do practice, usual deal. I'll do practice, come back, and I will be with you in just a second. A race to save our job, and our practice went awful. 10th and 20th, not good, not good. 6th or above we require. We do start far up on the grid and 1 far back. Oh, I'm looking at the grid the wrong way. So we've got 1 in the midfield and 1 at the back. That helps. We're going to have to do 2-stopper with Ellie. We didn't get our setup right. Kind of Seek's really hoping for some rain, really. So as you see, the setup's not great. Good. So these will do 10 laps, but as you see, it's a 23 lap race. So what I'm thinking with Ellie is lap 8 and 16, because she'll burn through the tyres. We can't control that. Frankie, I'm going to try a 1-stopper, maybe do lap 11 and 13. So with Frankie, we're going to conserve. In fact, I'm actually going to go really short on Frankie. Get him out of the traffic, try and get something to get him further up the grid. Let's go with a really short super soft stint. There's no way we can avoid a 2-stop strategy on Ellie. Frankie's at the back of the field. Let's gamble on a 2-stop work-in where he goes really fast, really quickly, and then maybe stops about lap 4 or something, has a couple of laps of clean air, and then can cruise home. From there, it's sort of a normal speed. See where he can get up to, and then use the free air to try and balance the pace. So he is fastest in the first sector there, which is good. He's up to 14th. He's getting held up a lot in the middle. Up into 12th. Best start we've had so far. Ellie's into 6th as well, so good start from both drivers. Frankie up into 9th. Absolutely storming Frankie Kane. Just going to try and burn these tyres out. Doesn't look like there's going to be much rain, if any. But he's already catching up to Ellie in 5th. He is on the faster compound tyre, of course. It would have been a 3 or 4 stopper strategy if we went for the soft tyres. So I think this 2-stop might just work. We're just going to burn these out and then switch, and hopefully come out in clean air where we can push. Can't tell Ellie what to do. Oh, we can actually work with Ellie now. She's letting us work with her again. That is good. We're going to tell her to let Frankie through, because he is much faster at this stage of the Grand Prix. He's obviously on the faster tyres on a pushing strategy. We're going to bring him in at the end of this lap Going to do 10 laps on these softs. Ellie actually lost a place because of letting him through though. That is unfortunate. But hopefully it doesn't cost us too much time long term. But 5th and 7th right now is really, really good. I would have tried a similar strategy with Ellie if I realised that it would work. So I might do the reverse and try and push her towards the end. Now that she's actually listening to us again. So we've got 6th and 20th right now. But obviously Frankie is in cruise till the end of the race mode. But he's got all that clean air. He's got 10 seconds in front of him before there's another car. Deliberately burn out the tyres because we know we couldn't do a one-stop strategy. Let's try and get this to work. Let's try something. We had to try something different from what we've done in the last races because it hasn't worked and we have to save our job. We have no choice on that. So as long as Frankie can maintain decent times, he will come back into the fold about where he finished, and hopefully then on his second stint can do okay. He is actually lapping a bit faster than cars ahead right now, which is good news. It's not a whole lot faster, but it's something at least. Means that he will leap at least a couple of places. Ellie Marsh we will bring in about lap 10. We're actually going to start pushing her on our tyres because we need to get these temperatures up. Because temperatures are obviously really low right now. So we're not getting the temperatures into the tyres. Our tyre heating isn't as good either. So tyre wear and tyre heating is really combined this season to make our tyre management an absolute horror for us. She is starting to get our tyre temperatures up again though, so hopefully she can do that and eke out these last few laps. Although it wouldn't be a disaster if she had to have a quick splash and dash on the faster compound at the end. Frankie now back up into 15th after pit stops. He's got a car right behind him. Just overtook him, but I think that was a car who was actually ahead of him at time of pitting. I'm not sure. Ellie up into 5th. So that would add up with that. Expect she would come in at a similar place. And we can bring her in at the end of this lap. Go with this strategy. And we will have a splash and dash with her at the end. Go back onto neutral tyres because your tyre temperatures are okay. And we don't want to wear them out before the end of the lap. Frankie will come in about lap 14. And he'll have a little bit of push as well. Although not a huge amount on the fresh soft tyres. We're actually going to start pushing just a little bit with them just now. Try and get some temperature into them before they go too cold. Ellie's got quite a lot of excess fuel, which is handy. Frankie does come back through and he is in 10th place. About 4th of those that have stopped. 17 seconds off the lead, so he should get past all the ones that are ahead that hasn't stopped yet, which is good news. Ellie as well should be similar. She is 21 seconds behind, so again similar, should be able to get past a fair few of them, of the ones that haven't stopped. Gomez will be the tester of that. I think he came out, no, Ellie got past both of them, so I think we're in good shape here. And Frankie getting past the Hyung Liao there in the Dragon Race Team China. The issue is all these cars that are ahead of us that haven't stopped are doing one-stop strategies. They're making a one-stop work. We won't. We have to make the two stops, so it's not ideal, but we're trying to make something work. Frankie, we will go into neutral fuel and he will pit at the end of this lap. That will be his final pit stop. Going to just push a little bit with Ellie, just try and keep some temperature in the tyres. In fact, temperature's actually gone up a little bit now, so it might be able to withstand. Would ask Frankie to let her through, but she's going through anyway. Up into 5th place. So she's 5th, but there's a lot of cars one-stopping, which is not good news for us, but hopefully Ellie will be quick enough at the end of the Grand Prix to get us the sponsored objective of top 6. Or at least finish 6 in the constructors. Kinate down in 15th, but we know a lot of these cars will have to stop again. At least we suspect they will. If they're making one-stops work and we can't, then that's been a huge error on my part in the chassis design at the start of this season. and I've really taken it for granted, and I've messed up big time. Elliot's 64% of her tyre wear right now though. 5 laps to go. She's done about 5 laps on this. I'm wondering, it's actually more than 5, it's 4 plus 3, 7 laps to go. Yeah, I would have to back right up. Don't think we've got the pace for it. Chu has to pit behind us. Bolonich has to pit in front of us. I think we're just going to tell her to start pushing soon. I'm not going to push on the engine yet because I want to make sure we can do it. We're going to go on a low fuel mode with Frankie Kinney because he's not recovering the fuel anywhere near as fast as what I hoped. I don't want him running out of fuel because otherwise that would be an extreme disaster. But he is overtaking someone as well there, so he's back up into 11th place. Lap times are slow compared to the cars around him though, which isn't ideal. Ellie Marsh is lapping a bit faster than those cars around him though, so some positives to take from that. Cars behind us that have got to pit. Dreyfus. This is going to be tight. We need Ellie to be really quick on this last stint, if I'm honest. Going to set her to attacking now. Pit in for these softs, super softs even. 6-second pit stop. So a very quick splash and dash at the end. We need no mistakes here. We need our mechanics to do their job. Be really good at it. Just seeing how far some of those guys that were behind us are falling down. Engine looking unhealthy. That is not good news. I really need her ability to push here, and I'm not sure she's going to be able to. Frankie should leapfrog her though, and will hopefully put himself into the battle for top 6. Although he hasn't. Ellie Marsh comes out ahead of Frankie. I'm going to put her into push and overtake. She should be able to get to the end of the race on this strategy. Frankie will still have to keep on low fuel mode, which is not good. He's losing time, a lot of time. He's lapping quite a bit slower than a lot of other cars. Ellie, we're pushing forward. Hopefully her being in 6 is good enough. I think I'm actually going to go with just high fuel mode because of the engine playing up. Don't want to blow up an engine and then gets fired, basically. There's a couple of teams outscoring us, but not a huge amount. Okay, we need to go into neutral. Got excess fuel, but we can't use it because we will blow up the engine if we don't. We went through 10% in that last couple of laps. I know we've only got a couple of laps remaining, but it's not worth the risk. 5th is good enough. El Sadat's behind us. He'll be coming at a rate of knots. You'll imagine he'll be on attacking. He will be indeed. I'm going to put the tyres onto. So I'm going to keep them on push because otherwise it will blister. Don't want them blistering. Frankie will put on a push on the tyres. Just try and maintain some pace. Ellie's done a stellar job here. Now that we can control her again though, I think if we keep her job, we are in decent shape because we can control her again. We can use the strange strategies that we use for Frankie without worrying about what Ellie has to do. Ellie Marsh comes home in 5th. Frankie Kinney hopefully can hold on to 12. Maybe jump 11 if he has. It's great news at the end. So 5th and 11th giving us a good finish in the end. We're 2 the better. Well, we had the second best 2-stop strategy, showing that we had race pace today. Other teams making the 1-stopper work, unfortunately. Managing to do 10 laps and then 13 laps on the super softs and softs respectively, which isn't quite good enough for us, but we're pushing ourselves in the right direction. And jumped up 2 places because of rules broken by Octane and Predator. Is that enough? Jump up to 8th in the championship. We're only 28 points behind the championship leaders now. Have we done enough to save our job? Have we done enough? I think we gained points on most of the teams there. So hopefully we finished and survived the board ultimatum. The Steam achievement has not came up, so I am extremely nervous right now. Happiness 9%. Is that a plus? Expected result 3rd. We came 2nd. boys. We can breathe for another race. We hit our targets. We didn't lose as much money, which helps our budget. We've moved up in the Constructors' Championship. We still need to continue that kind of form though. We need to get to third where Archer are currently. We're 25 points behind that. It's not going to be easy, but we've put our chairman back in happiness. We could breathe for another little while. We're going to do the interview. Marchetta, if he's interested, can join. If he's wanting to talk to us, but I don't imagine. So anyway, search by racing series. There we go. European, please. So let's start at the top of the European. Scroll down, see what he looks like. Luigi, yeah, there's absolutely no point. I mean, we could bring him in to replace Frankie, but it's going to cost us 1.5 million to do it. He's going to regress at a similar rate. He's similar age. It's not really worthwhile doing. His form is extremely good though. But I'll end the episode on that note, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.